birth of a first son, the birth of a first child for that matter. What does it mean? Well, some big vultures over there feasting, as they do. First to the scene of the crime, vultures. Similar to the press, you might say. Operates similarly. Birth of a first child, I digress. When does it happen, actually? When does fatherhood begin? Is it at birth? I guess the phrase in itself, the birth of a first child, would suggest that it must happen at birth. But certainly there is an evolution that is taking place from the moment that you first try to have a child. And then once you then successfully conceive, and then once you get to the point, let's say 12 weeks, where you can actually share with people that you are a father to be. And then there's other check marks along the way, 20 weeks, when they do some type of an anatomy scan. And then there's, the different trimesters, and then there's the home stretch. And then finally, the actual proper birth, the contractions, the different, how dilated, etc. And then ultimately the baby comes, and then other check marks along the way, taking the baby home for the first time. When does it all really become real? When do you actually when does something change in your consciousness and you are a father? Does it happen when they open their eyes and really look at you for the first time? Sometimes early on they're looking at you, but they're not necessarily really taking you in, and you're not taking them in. There's not a connection. But there is a moment where that does happen. Is that the moment where things change? Interested in people's experiences and thoughts on this. But certainly things have changed for me in now having a 40-day-old child, my first son. And yeah, broccoli cheddar, nothing better, as a friend of mine used to say. And approaching my own 40th birthday, as Carl Jung, I believe it was, Jung used to say. A man's life really only begins at 40, and having a child just prior to that is a significant milestone. And yet there's still many doubts, and there's still many insecurities, and there's still a lot of confusion. Forget about in the world, just within, as we traverse day to day, the day-to-day trials and tribulations and experiences, and all that we must embark upon as a man, or just as a human, as an adult, but trying to forget about being an adult and try to maybe find that inner child once again. And maybe that becomes more palpable or palatable as you look upon your own child and remember what that time was like and how short-lived it was, and when did you stop living in the moment in those days. So I've got my AirPod Maxes on here in the salmon color, of course, and I've got a brief respite from the boy, wherein I intend to go get some coffee, some iced coffee, because the moments are brief where you can escape, and you're often battling when you will have your own time with an infant to be able to do the things that you once used to do, which were so accessible and available to you then, and now are really times of um, times of a break. It used to be just like you could do whatever you wanted in any given moment, and now there's a clock. There's always kind of a clock ticking. This isn't a complaint. This is just a expression of a reality. And Sue, as Father's Day approaches, happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. I am happy to join you as a new one, and have found my way back onto YouTube, and look forward to being back here and expressing things and perhaps finding my tribe.